I constantly think about the fact that my father cannot live and die where he was born, and that my grandparents, when they died, were not able to be buried in the place that their family built.
I am the child of a Nakba survivor.
My father was born in Nazareth. His family's home was in Safed. My name is Alana Hadid. I am an activist, a Palestinian, a creative director, a fashion designer, and now a model. Palestine means everything to me. Palestine is home, a place that lives in my heart. It is my fight for freedom. It's a homeland that I've been able to visit but never been able to live in.
An oblong platform resting partly on vaults includes the temple area. In the center stands the Dome of the Rock.
My family were ethnically cleansed in 1948. My grandfather was a university professor and an interpreter. And when he came home from work, the Polish family that he had taken in after World War II was occupying his home. A lot of Palestinians took in Jewish refugees from Europe after World War II and had them living in their homes. He considered those people friends. They ate together, they lived together, they did their laundry together, they shopped together. With the help of the militia that later became the IDF, he was ethnically cleansed from his home at gunpoint. He was told he could not go back into his home. My grandmother went to try to be with him. He had already left. And so they went to separate refugee camps. And through the help of a friend who was a traveling doctor, a doctor who had gone to many refugee camps, they finally were brought back together many, many months, I think close to a year later. And then they went to multiple different places. They were in Syria, Jordan, Tunisia, Lebanon, until they ultimately immigrated to the US. I think what was hard for him was that, violently expelled from his home was incredibly difficult, but also to have had people who had been living with them for quite a while be the people who expelled them from their homes was also very jarring. I constantly think about the fact that my father cannot live and die where he was born, and that my grandparents, when they died, were not able to be buried in the place that their family built. They should have been able to live there. They should have been able to die there and be buried there, and they were not. And that is the wish of so many Palestinians, my father included. I think celebrities and influencers need to understand what power their voices have. They need to know that the fight for freedom for Palestinians needs all of our voices, and it's not just about Palestine, it's about universal freedom and humanity. When I see what's happening to college students who are protesting right now, one thought comes to mind. These students have understood the assignment. None of us are free until everyone is free. What we're seeing right here is machinery being brought in to make an American port. If these can get in by land, use these to take people out from the rubble. So I have to spend the time to pick and choose what I think is the most relevant and try to disseminate that information and bypass the algorithm to make sure that as many people as possible can see it.
Hadid was made a refugee strategy by the creation of Israel in 1948 before he could walk.
What I'd like to say about what's the best approach is whatever speaks to you, whatever your expertise is in, use that to your advantage. There are beautiful poets who are writing poetry about Palestine. There are artists who are painting beautiful pictures. For me, it's social media, and for others, it's a mural on the side of the road, or it's organizing a march. Whatever you think you're best at, use that to free Palestine. Our pressure is working. For myself, I find that the best way to expose information is to talk about the history, to educate people, and also to just show the actual things that are happening on the ground. From the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, Palestinians will be free. It's a chant of freedom. It's a chant of equality. It's actually a chant for democracy. We want all people to be able to be equal. It's ridiculous that there are people who are actually calling for ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, and a freedom chant is being seen as a call for ethnic cleansing. No one has any intention of ethnically cleansing anyone when they call for from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And it's right here. Don't stop talking about Palestine. Don't stop bringing it up in conversation. There is still a genocide happening in Palestine. There are still people who are starving and being starved. There are still women who are giving birth and then having to walk miles to safety. We've been fighting for 75 years. We're not going to stop now.